Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I thought I would do something a little different. This is one of my off days, but I do like to do some GPP and stuff early in the mornings, and I thought, I looked at yesterday's training, made some what I'm going to do for adjustments in the benching, and I've realized, again, having healed the shoulder impingement and everything, my delts, my shoulders are just lagging in general still. Their work capacity is low. They're smaller than they were at one time. So even though I'm cutting, getting ready for a meet, I thought, well, let's do basically like a shoulder circuit. All right, let's just do a shoulder circuit for part of my GPP today. Let's work on that work capacity for my shoulders and build them up a little bit. And I think what I'm going to do, I don't necessarily want to do this on off days very often because I really only want to do 3 days of lifting. And I think this qualifies as lifting. So I'm probably going to do a smaller version of this because, again, this took about 15 minutes, but ends up being 8 minutes of footage. Maybe a smaller version of this, 3 sets, 4 sets instead of 6 at the end of my bench days, right? Because I think I'm going to focus on closed grip incline, and then tricep work. I could finish off with something like this at the end, and just count it as one delt exercise, but really we're working everything. And I just need the extra shoulder development at this point. I really do. Again, I think it will give me the most stability on my bench. I think it'll help bring my bench up quickly. And it's just something I need to do. Plus, then I don't have to worry about overhead pressing. I can just focus on incline, right? So flatten and incline, and then triceps. And I can just finish with something like this at the end. But again, I thought I would do this today. So what did I do? I started with the first few sets. I did the front raises first, but I realized they really limit the laterals. The lateral raises really hit all 3 heads of the delt and the upper trap really well, whereas in this focuses on the front a little more, the trap, and then, we get lower trap and rear delts and everything with the reverse flies, which I'm having to do lightest because I'm doing them at the end. Those little 10-pound plates are hard. I can do those normally with 25-pound dumbbells, but they're hard at the end of this. But as I got into there, I realized it becomes too hard to do the laterals even with this weight. So I switched further into doing, just 10 lateral raises first, then the front raises and the rear delt flies. And that distributes the work a little better. I feel like I got a little better overall workload. But if we look at what's happening here, we're hitting all 3 heads of the delt. We're hitting the traps. We're generating a lot of metabolic fatigue. Now, this matters for a lot of reasons, when we start looking at delts. Delts are one of those muscles that do tend to do a little bit better with some higher reps, right? They tend to do pretty well with them. And they do well with fatigue, whereas in a lot of other muscles, rep ranges just don't matter as much. But definitely delts are one of those, a lot of guys, and that's anecdote. It's not necessarily supported by literature, just people's anecdote. Delts tend to respond pretty well to just pump work. I know a lot of power lifters, even like elite power lifters, who just do some pump work, light stuff for their delts. And I'm talking like a friend of mine who benches 500 pounds, mentioned that. We see Wendler do the same thing. He's like, look, if your shoulders aren't healthy enough to do the press, like a delt circuit, a shoulder circuit will, still build your entire shoulder girdle up. All right. And if we do this stuff, it gives us a more stable platform to bench. Now, the other thing I will add, a lot of you guys always laugh. Oh, these kids are chasing the aesthetics thing. I really don't, but this will probably help as I get leaner. For most of you guys out there, I really just tell the guys, like, just build your shoulders and get lean, and you'll have that look. That's really all that look is. And also, most of those guys aren't necessarily that big, but it's mostly delts and body fat, or just shoulders in general. So stuff like this can be done very, very quickly. It can technically be done at the end of a workout, but like I said, I chose to do it this morning. And as I noted, I changed the rotation as I got further into it. And all in all, I was just drinking coffee and stuff while doing this. It took me about 15 minutes to do it, because it's about 8 minutes of footage. I took, a minute or two between each set, and then came back and knocked it out. And it pretty well just lit my delts up. But really, it's 6 sets of all these exercises, just done in circuit form. Close to failure, not quite. But the fatigue is very, very real. And definitely some of the stuff, the lighter stuff like the rear delt stuff is about to failure. It's really all I could handle. But as I said already, maybe this is something I would benefit from doing on my actual bench press days, right? And it shouldn't interfere with deadlifts tomorrow because, again, it's fairly light work. I'm going to deadlift tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with the rowing or anything. I don't think that it will. But just in case that it will, I'll want to space that out in the future. All right, we'll want to space it out. And again, try to do it on Wednesday, so normally on my bench day. But again, I need the work capacity in my shoulders, right? I need the work capacity, I need the hypertrophy, and I really need the whole shoulder girdle bigger. I feel like that'll give me the stability I need to get my bench back to where it was and then be progressing again. And I can do that. It's just going to take me doing more of the just close grip and just hammering those triceps. But delts do seem to be a problem for me at the moment. So I want to get on top of that and work on fixing that. And eventually I may get to where I get the work capacity high enough I can start overhead pressing again and then just focus on rear delts. Right? A lot of band pull aparts and stuff on my off days, which I've started doing. It's good for my overall shoulder health. Right? Good for my overall shoulder health. All right, guys, and I'll just, for the last couple sets of these, because I'm pretty much tired of talking, I'll just let you guys watch as it rolls. So I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.